Hello. Okay, next tutorial. This time I'm dressed up as Edward Scissorhands. Now some of you guys out there might have recognised that I have done this makeup before in the past, like I did my Mad Hatter tutorial, but I decided to revisit it because it's been a few years and I've done it completely different to how I did it before, using different techniques and different products and just new things that I've learned. And I think it looks completely different to when I did it the first time, so I'm definitely happy with the way this one came out. It was actually requested like mad on my Mad Hatter video, so I thought I'd better revisit this one. So yeah, if you'd like to learn how to recreate this makeup, stay tuned. So as per usual, I'm going to block out both my eyebrows, so I'll pop a link on the screen somewhere here, just to teach you guys how to block your eyebrows out, so I don't have to recap in this video, because as always it makes the video go a little bit quicker, doesn't it? So, I'm going to block out my eyebrows, and we shall go from there. So for the foundation, I'm going to be using a Kryolan TV paint stick. This is in 1W, which is their lightest shade, aside from being white, obviously. Because your skin is quite pale, it's not exactly white, but it is very pale, so this is the closest colour I'm going to get to it. So I'm going to apply that all over my face, and then blend that out with a kabuki brush. Then I'm going to powder all that with some Ben Nye setting powder in Super White. A good rule of thumb when you're doing something like this where the foundation is quite heavy is to apply the powder, let it sit and, well, cook as people would say, for a few minutes and then brush it off just so it's completely sunk in, and so that way everything will stay in place for longer. So you might be wondering why I've done my foundation not applied like the scars like I used in my video last time. The reason for that is I get a lot of comments about people asking how to use Scar Wax because it can be tricky and they can't get it to stick down, etc. So what I'm going to do is this time I'm going to do it completely different to the way I did it before. I'm going to literally just paint the scars on. I mean, in the film they would have used Scar Wax, but as I said, it can be tricky to work with if you're not used to it. So to make this a bit more universal for you guys out there, I'm going to paint the scars on. Having said that, I'm going to do that after I do the eyes though, because I'm dying to do that bit. So for the eyes, I'm going to use a light brown eyeshadow to get this really sad expression, but I'm only going to go around the eye. I'm not going to go on the actual eyelid. So you don't have to use this particular palette that I'm going to be using because it is limited edition. This is the Sugarpill Edward Scissorhands palette that I'm using. I managed to get my hands on this. It took me forever. I kind of have to use it. It's kind of like fate, isn't it, Edward Scissorhands and such. But because it's limited edition, I'll tell you the colours you can get similar to this if you can't get hold of the palette. But I'm going to be using Castle in the Sky, which is this gorgeous brownie plum colour. You can get a similar colour from M.A.C, I believe, which is Fashion Fix. I believe it's a very, very similar colour, but there are obviously other shades out there that are similar to that kind of brown. But yeah, that's the one I'm using. I kind of have to, it's fate. So I'm going to use a fairly fluffy brush for this because it's got to be really smokied out, so it has got to look like a shadow rather than actual eyeshadow. So it's going to be in a high shape here, and it's going to sweep down, kind of giving a hood effect either side of the eye here, and it's going to just give a sad expression. Really make sure when you get to the peaks here you brush the colour upwards so there's no like abrupt stop. Then I'm going to bring that colour around underneath the eye and then connect to this side, still keeping it within the eye socket shape. Don't go too close to your eye because we need that underside of your eye to be clear of any colour, apart from the foundation obviously. So try and keep in mind, it does definitely need to connect, but try and get it lighter on this side, but deeper here, which is where the bone would stop, so it's not going to be as darker here. Just imagine a bruised eye, so it needs to be dark here, fade out. Then, just to lighten up that area underneath the eye a little bit, I'm going to use the peachy orangey colour from this palette, which is called Suburbia. I love the names of these colours, which I believe is quite similar to the MAC eyeshadow Early Bird. Yeah, so just this really nice peach colour. It's just something to draw the attention to the eyes. So I'm just going to brush that with a small but firm fluffy brush, and I'm just going to go underneath my eye. Then I'm just going to take a newer really fluffy brush and lightly apply that colour onto my eyelid. So not as thick as underneath my eye, but you still want there to be that noticeable different shade. Then onto Johnny Depp's fabulous, oh so famous cheekbones. So very masculine, across and then down. No matter what makeup he's in, they always accentuate that. It's excellent. So I'm going to use the same Castle on the Hill shadow, which again is similar to the Fashion Fix by M.A.C. And I'm just going to apply that in a block colour going across and then down. And then I can blend that colour outwards, leaving the cheekbone area completely clear. Okay, then taper that colour outwards. Try and leave this point here to be the darkest, because that's where the cheeks will be the most hollow, so the rest of this does look like a shadow. So just blend all this outwards. Yep, so you see the darkest points there. It just looks like you're sucking your cheeks in. Then the keloid scars, so the biggest trademark of this look other than the eyes. So for this look, so as I said, instead of using wax, which you absolutely can do, it just means you have to apply it before you do your foundation, which is apply a bit of spirit gum, then the wax, taper the edges off, and then seal it. But instead of that, I'm going to take the same Castle on the Hill shadow, just to keep in theme with the same shadows that I've got going on here so the colours don't stand out too much. So the idea is to take 2 parallel lines going straight down, then fade the tops and bottoms out, leaving the inside completely clear. That will make it look like a raised surface. I'll show you what I mean. I'll do one, and then the rest of it will be exactly the same, just in different places. So from what I can tell, the most prominent one is pretty much here. So it starts on this part of the eye and then goes down to the lip. So the idea is then to take that same Castle on the Hill eyeshadow, the dark brown. I'm going to do one line going down, taper off either side, and then do one with a small gap in between next to it. Then just taper that colour away from the middle, so the harshest line is on the centre and it's darkest there. Then take a new brush, a lip brush does work really well with this, and the foundation again, the paint stick. And I'm just going to use that for the highlight and go straight down the middle of this piece. So yeah, 1 keloid raised scar. So that's probably going to be the biggest one that I'm going to do. The rest of them are going to be quite thin, as long as there's a noticeable gap in the middle. Yeah, so I'm going to do, there's probably about 10 to 12 of these cuts, I think. So I'm going to time lapse through this, doing exactly the same as I did there, in the various different places that he has them on his face. So there we are. I hope I've got it all in the right place, but there seems to be about 16 actually, from what I can gather here. I thought it was about 12 for some reason, ignore that. So yeah, there we are. For the lips, I'm going to use one of my most favourite lipsticks ever. I think I say this every time I use it, but it's a Revlon number 477 Black Cherry. It's gorgeous. It's a very, very, very dark purple. Very gorgeous colour. So I'm going to apply that just in the middle of my lips. Very small lip shape, nothing major. And once I've applied that, I'm going to just taper it outwards. So it kind of looks bee sting, but the whole lip does eventually get covered, but it's more concentrated in the middle. Okay, so just keep the colour concentrated in the centre and then blend it out. So then all that's really left to do is to pop in my contact lenses, my wig, my costume, and I think I'm done. And there we go, that's the look complete. So I finished the look off by popping in 2 contact lenses, which are just regular black contact lenses that I've got from camoeyes.com. I'll pop the link in the description bar below and on the screen here. This beautiful costume I'm so happy with. It's such an improvement over my last costume that I used for Edward Scissorhands a few years ago, because that one had like foam scissors and it was all made of like fabric. This one's actually made of like proper PVC type material with actual plastic scissors rather than foam scissors, so yay! The buckled and everything, I'm so happy with it. So yeah, that's my Edward Scissorhands tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I improved on it since the last time I did it. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you liked it, please make sure to do the usual. Rate, comment, subscribe, and please share this video because it super helps me out. And yeah, so until next time, bye guys.